All right, ready to dive into something kind of interesting.
Let's do it.
Today we're talking about, well, calf implants. And you might be thinking, calf implants?
Uh,
What? But stick with us. Okay.
okay.
It's more common than you think, and it kind of makes you think about beauty standards.
Right. Like what we consider ideal.
Exactly. And we're going deep on this using a website called HealR.co by in.
Yeah, a provider in Mumbai.
So even though it's from India, what we're talking about is relevant everywhere, I think.
Definitely. It's like a global thing, this desire for, enhancing how we look.
Okay, so first things first.
Yep.
What exactly are calf implants? Like, I get wanting toned calves, right?
Sure. Like athletes.
Yeah, athletes, models, that kind of thing.
But some people, like no matter how much they work out,
They just can't get that look.
genetics,
Or maybe they want a really dramatic change.
and that's where these implants come in.
So they're like silicone implants.
Exactly. Like what you hear about for breasts,
Okay.
but obviously for calves.
They go in surgically, right?
Yeah. To make the calves bigger, more shaped.
Like more toned looking.
Exactly.
And it's not just about looking good.
Right. HealR.Q.in talks about reconstructive reasons too.
Oh, interesting.
Like if someone has an injury or something
Right.
they were born with, that makes their legs uneven.
So it can fix that.
It can help create symmetry, yeah.
So it's not always pure vanity then?
Not at all. Sometimes it's about like improving quality of life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure not everyone's a good candidate for this.
Oh, definitely not. With Ainway surgery, gotta be realistic.
What do you mean?
Like HealR.co.in says, you gotta have realistic expectations.
You're not going to magically become like an Olympian.
Right. It can enhance what's there.
But it's not a miracle.
And obviously you have to be in good health overall.
Like, this isn't something you just decide to do on a whim.
Yeah. It's surgery.
Good point. Actually, that's good advice in general, right?
For anal elective procedure.
Do your research. Talk to a real doctor. Okay, now I'm curious about the types of implants.
Okay, so HealR.C.in mentions two main ones. Solid silicone and silicone gel.
So, like, what's the difference?
Imagine choosing a pillow, right?
Yeah, okay.
You want one that's comfy, that suits you.
Right, yeah.
Solid silicone is firmer.
So it gives a more defined look.
Yeah, but UT, there's a slight chance you might feel the edge of it.
Oh, okay. So what about the gel ones?
Gel is newer. It's softer, more like pliable.
Oh, I see.
Like picture a peach, unripe versus ripe. That's kind of the difference in feel.
Interesting. And HealR.C.in says they can even customize these things.
Yeah, shape and size to match the person.
Wow, so it's not one size fits all.
Nope, very tailored.
Now, getting these implanted is serious surgery.
Oh yeah, it's done under general anesthesia.
Whoa, so you're totally out.
So imagine you're asleep, the surgeon makes a cut, usually behind the knee.
To hide the scar.
Yeah, then they make little pockets for the implants to go in.
And then just pop them in.
Well, carefully place them, then close up the incision.
I'm guessing recovery isn't a breeze.
Not exactly. You need rest, limited activity for like 10 days at least.
Okay.
Keep your legs up to reduce swelling.
And no working out.
Leg exercises, forget it. For a month, maybe more.
So serious downtime.
Yeah. Could you handle that? It's something to think about.
Good point.
Yeah.
And even if everything goes perfectly, there are still risks, right?
With anesthesia surgery, there's risk. You got to be real about that.
So, like, what kind of risks are we talking about here?
Well, with anesthesia, there's always a chance of a bad reaction.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then stuff specific to this procedure, hematoma, infection.
What's a hematoma?
Basically blood pooling under the skin.
Oh, yikes.
And of course, scarring, that's a given.
Anything specific to the implants themselves?
They could, like, become visible or feel weird if not put in right.
So it's all about the surgeon's skill.
Totally. And they could shift or end up uneven.
That's scary. Makes you really think about finding a good surgeon.
Absolutely. Someone experienced.
Which brings us back to HealR.co.in.
Right. They talk a big game about their surgeons, their facilities.
Of course, it's their website, their marketing.
Exactly. They're going to highlight the good stuff.
So, got to take it with a grain of salt.
If you were really considering this, you'd do your own research.
Talk to different surgeons, get multiple opinions.
Yeah, don't just rely on one source ever.
Especially with something this big.
Right. This is your body we're talking about.
Okay, so we've talked about the what of calf implants. But now I'm curious about the why.
Like, why are people doing this?
Yeah? It's a choice, right?
That's the motivation.
And it's not just in Mumbai, like you said.
It's global. This desire for perfect legs, it's everywhere.
It makes you wonder, huh?
It's like, what's driving this? Is it deeper than we think?
Yes,
Deeper than we think, yeah.
Like, what are the pressures, the beauty standards?
Good question. And how much of it is media, you know?
Totally. Like
Yeah.
what we see in movies, magazines.
Right, it all feeds into it.
Okay, so back to HealR.c.in for a sec. They mentioned that some people, they're just born with great calves.
Ah, the lucky ones.
But for others, it's just not in their genes.
Genetics are huge EE. You can't deny that.
So no matter how much they work out,
Some people will never have those, like, super defined calves.
it's like, yes, some of us won the genetic lottery.
And some of us are stuck with what we got.
And that's where implants come in, I guess.
It's like leveling the playing field.
Giving people a chance to, like, achieve that ideal,
That they might not ever get naturally.
no matter how hard they try.
Exactly. Which raises an interesting question.
Okay, I'm listening.
If someone gets implants to, like, improve their calves,
Uh-huh.
is that any less valid than someone who works out for years to get that look?
Ooh, good point. Like,
Yeah.
where's the line between natural and artificial?
We applaud people who transform their bodies through sheer effort.
Right, like, it's seen as admirable.
But then we might judge someone who takes a shortcut with surgery.
It's like we value the struggle more.
Yeah, like it's more earned if you sweat for it.
But what about people who can't achieve that naturally?
No matter how much they work out, their genetics just won't allow it.
So are we saying they can't feel good about their bodies?
That they don't deserve to have that confidence.
That's a tough question for sure.
It makes you think about our biases, doesn't it?
Totally. Like, we accept tattoos, piercings.
But surgery is somehow different. It's seen as more extreme. Maybe.
More permanent.
But is it? Really? We modify our bodies in so many ways.
Makeup, hair dye, even filters on photos.
It's all about perception, right?
Yeah, and this complicated relationship we have with our bodies.
And how those standards of beauty are always changing.
It's like there's no one right way to look or feel good.
And that's okay. Everyone's journey is different.
It's about respecting choices.
And recognizing that this pursuit of beauty, it's personal.
So true. Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about the psychology behind all this.
Like, what's going on in someone's head when they decide to get implants?
What are they hoping to achieve?
It's complex. Often it's about fixing something they dislike.
Like a flaw or asymmetry.
Yeah, or maybe they just want to match an ideal in their mind.
It's like wanting their body to reflect their vision.
Exactly. But for some, it's deeper, about insecurity, self-esteem.
Hoping to feel more confident, more attractive.
And those feelings are valid. We can't dismiss them.
We all have insecurities, right?
Absolutely. But it's crucial to be informed, weigh the pros and cons.
Not just jump into surgery without thinking.
Do your research, talk to professionals.
What if the results aren't what they expected?
That's a risk, emotionally.
It's a vulnerable thing, changing your appearance.
You need support, coping mechanisms, all of that.
And then there's the whole societal pressure thing again.
These beauty standards, they're everywhere.
We're bombarded with images of perfect bodies.
Airbrushed, photoshopped, unrealistic.
And we internalize that, start comparing ourselves.
And feeling like we need to fix things.
And calves, they're definitely a focus, right?
Yeah, toned legs are everywhere in media.
So it's no surprise people want that look, even if it means surgery.
It's like expectations, media, personal desires, all mixed up.
It's important to be aware of those influences, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can make informed choices, not just follow blindly.
Define beauty for ourselves.
Exactly, and celebrate diversity, different body types.
It's about self-acceptance, body positivity.
Feeling empowered to choose what you want, not what society dictates.
I love that. Okay, I think we've really gone deep here.
We've covered a lot, from the surgery itself to the bigger picture.
But as always, there's more to think about.
And this is where you come in, listener.
We've shared our thoughts, but now it's your turn.
What stood out to you? What surprised you?
Keep the conversation going. Talk to people around you.
Share your perspectives, your own experience.
Because ultimately, the most important perspective is yours.
What makes you feel confident, comfortable, authentic?
That's what matters, right?
Absolutely. Whether you embrace what you have or explore options.
It's your choice, your journey.
And remember, knowledge is power.
The more you know, the better choices you can make.
So keep learning, keep questioning, keep talking about it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into calf implants.
And until next time, stay curious.
We'll catch you on the next one. We've been talking about calf implants, and it's been, well,
A journey.
It has. From the actual surgery to,
All the deeper stuff.
like, the psychology, the societal pressures.
Yeah, it's not just about sticking some silicone in your legs.
Definitely not. But, as always, we've only just scratched the surface, right?
There's always more to explore, to think about.
And that's where you, the listener, come in.
We've had our say.
Now it's your turn to process all this.
What really stuck with you? What surprised you?
Maybe something made you rethink things.
Don't let the conversation end here.
Talk to people, your friends, family,
Share what you learned, your own opinions.
because your perspective matters the most.
What makes you feel good, confident, authentic?
That's what we want you to take away.
Whether you're happy with what you have naturally,
Or if you're considering options like implants.
it's your choice, your body.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Right. The more you know, the better decisions you can make.
So keep learning, keep asking questions, keep talking about this stuff.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a fascinating one.
Until next time, stay curious out there.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.